This is the video story of a southeast Missouri row cropper's son. That's Mike. And a rancher's daughter from northeast Arkansas. That's Mary. And we decided to retire back in the foothills of northeast Arkansas and build a home and begin our journey of learning about plants and about animals and watching my dad's cows and trying to live off the land and be as self-sufficient as possible. So come on along and watch our journey. Coming to some days that are not so hot. There for a while it was just stifling hot, but then it started cooling down a little bit, showing signs of autumn coming, which is refreshing to say the least.
Warm bacon spinach salad. Yum.
He and I are going to go out to the garden for a little bit. I thought I would talk to you guys along the way and tell you some of the things that I've been doing. And I've been trying to learn how to can some different things, and I've been learning how to cook some different foods that are a little too expensive on the shelf right now, and I wanted to learn how to cut some cost. And so I'm learning how to cook sourdough crackers, and I tried a recipe that I saw on Homesteading with the Zimmermans. She is fantastic, by the way. And she did one with, she put her seasonings on the outside. So I tried one that was made with sour cream and onions. And it turned out okay, but I think the trick is that you've got to learn how to spread the batter out on the cookie sheets on the parchment paper at just the right level and cook them long enough that they get brown but not too brown. And she warned in it that if you use any sugar that it will turn a dark brown, and her family didn't like that. I didn't have any Truvia, which is what she recommends, and so she's right. They did turn a darker brown than what I would have really liked for them to be. They tasted really good though. So I've got Truvia now, and I'm gonna try it again and see if I can figure that out. And I'd really like to make some sandwich bread with the sourdough too. So I've been keeping up with my sourdough starter every day. And I'm going to show you the garden, some of the things that have changed. It's kind of sadder. Well, it makes me sad to see some of the things that are going on in it. So, all right, I'll show you. So it looks a lot different now. We've added the 6 extra that I have not yet amended, so it's kind of growing up a little bit. I want to have to fix that. And since we've had so much heat, the peppers, man, I have harvested from the peppers 3 times already, and you can tell that they're just about ready to harvest again. And the tomatoes, since we had the hot weather, have started to ripen on the vine. And so I think I'm gonna start making some hot sauce with these and see if I can learn how to do that, because our family likes hot sauce. And there's a bunch of them, so I need to figure that out. My beautiful basil, which I love, and I did keep the blooms. I put them in water, but I wanted to trim it and see if it would bounce back a little bit. And so far it's only been a couple of days, so I don't know if it's going to work or not. And I had 2 precious turnips that survived. I transplanted them from my back porch, so I don't know if it's going to make it, but we're going to try. And then I pulled up all of my corn. The corn that was left on there was not going to ripen. And I pulled up all the beans because the squash beetles are still in that bed, which Figaro is now sitting on. So I needed to get them out of there. They were not looking very healthy. And you can tell the pumpkin has been blighted with that also. So I don't know if those blooms are going to make anything. It keeps blooming, and then they don't form any pumpkins, so I don't know. I feel sorry for it. And I pulled all the beans out of the zinnias because the zinnias were taken over. And these zinnias are scorched, you can kind of tell. But I'm gonna harvest the zinnias from those when they get dried out enough. And my marigolds are looking fantastic, and they've started blooming. The okra has been providing bountifully for us. I have been harvesting, I don't know, maybe 4 times, and you can tell that I need to harvest yet again because they just keep on keeping on. And I waited and waited for these marigolds to bloom, and I've got 1 bloom so far. And the heat is just, I don't know, it's really been hard on them. My little watermelons, they're putting off more baby watermelons, you can kind of tell. And the bigger watermelons, I don't even know what kind it is, but you can kind of tell they're just about ready, I think. And it's got marks on it where they've been stung, so that makes them sweeter, which I'm happy about. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm not a watermelon grower, so we're gonna find out. And the sunflowers, the butterflies and bees, love them. And they've been doing really good, except for one little spot where something has got a hold of it and tried to eat the seeds, which I want to save some for next year, so I'm hoping that when they get dried out that I can do that. Look at the insects on that one. It's amazing. And say hello to Figaro.
Well, I got another batch of okra. Time to make some fried okra again. They actually look better than the last ones I did. Cool.
Well, it's time to put the topsoil, potting soil in the raised beds. I got the raised beds all weeded, de-weeded this morning, and that was fun because I didn't have the camera with me, but I had a little bit of issue. I had a hornet about that big come buzzing around, but before that I killed a black widow that crawled up by my hand, and I thought, wow, That was close. I wish we had smell-o-vision so you could smell these marigolds. They are putting out some stuff, I'm telling you. You can tell the front yard is still kind of green. It's got some dry places in it, but Mike has been keeping it watered. But the pasture, you can kind of tell from the cemetery over there, is really getting dried out after 2 weeks of temperatures in the triple digits. It has been a scorcher this summer. Well, Figaro's out here enjoying the chair. And we're all waiting on the rain. It's supposed to rain. It has been 2 weeks since we got any, so this is exciting. I think she's here. All right, so Cooking with Nan strikes again. Now I'm trying her creamy ranch chicken and penne pasta. And we're gonna see if this is as good as her spinach salad and her meatloaf. Okay, so my trusting husband has decided to help me out. Yeah. He's gonna taste test it because y'all know I'm not good at taste testing.
Well, she knows how much I love penne pasta anyway.
Yeah, well. This is the part where Nan would go, "Oh, boys and girls, I'm telling you what."
Good.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. All right, so for the recipe, well, I'm kind of like, I cook a lot like Nan does. I use the ingredients that I have, and it's kind of cooking with your heart. You know, you put about as much as you think, like a dash of this or a dash of that. So in the crock pot, I had chicken wings. She used chicken breast or chicken tenders, which would be easier, lots easier, but that's what I had. So I put maybe about 8 chicken wings in the crock pot. I put a liner in my crock pot, so it causes less work that way. And then I put my salt and my pepper, and I put about a half a bag of cheddar cheese. She used pepper jack. I put a couple handfuls of mozzarella cheese, the thick, beefy kind. I love the Sam's brand. And I put a package of 8-ounce cream cheese. And I put about 3/4 a cup of milk. And then I put about a cup of chicken broth. And what else did I put? Onion powder and garlic salt. And then I mixed all that together and I let it cook for about an hour and a half or so until the chicken was about ready to fall off the bones. And I took the chicken wings out of the pot and separated the meat from the bones and the skin. I don't really like the skin or the bones in there. And put the chicken back in and let it simmer in the crock pot until I got the penne noodles made and got them softened up. And I put the sauce and everything with the chicken inside the pan with the penne noodles. And after Mike and I ate it, we were talking about it, what we would do to, is this something that I would cook again? Probably. And I would probably use the things that I have left over just to use up what I have. Oh, Parmesan cheese. I put Parmesan cheese in it too. She put a lot of that. And a package of ranch dressing. It doesn't matter what kind, but ranch dressing seasoning. But we were kind of talking about it, and we think that this recipe would probably be better if you used egg noodles. And I also put cooked bacon in it, and I like the bacon in there. But I think I would even make that a little bit crispier. Because once you put it in with all the rest of the ingredients, it gets kind of moist, but it gives it a great flavor. Just yummy. So that's my take on the cheesy cheddar mozzarella chicken in the crock pot. Mike and the boys have been working on getting the white shed up there on top of the hill unloaded. We had some things in there that we really wanted in the shop, so they volunteered to come and help their dad. So appreciative. Easy summertime supper. The super blue moon. So big. So I'm going to show you a little bit about our fall garden that I got planted about a week or so ago. I made myself a cheat sheet so I could kind of wouldn't tell you wrong. So these are the turnips. As you can tell, I'm getting a good stand of turnips. Really happy. I don't need Figaro in there. All right, so moving right along. And these are Brussels sprouts. And I am seeing a little bit, just a little bit. We got some hard rain the other day, and it really packed down these beds that don't have the amended potting soil. And this is our cabbage.
So the cabbage, and I transplanted marigolds. So the bigger ones are the marigolds. So we've got some cabbage. And then this one is, those are cauliflower that are coming up there. And then I've got broccoli, but the broccoli, I think that is broccoli right there. It's coming up. Just a little bit is coming up. Like I said, that hard soil is really difficult. And no peas yet. I was really wanting the peas to come up. But they have 6 to 17 days to germinate, so. And then I've got cilantro, did not come up yet. But my gourds have started coming up. So that's exciting. And I planted, over in that empty one, I planted carrots, and I'm not sure. The carrots seeds were a little bit older, like I think maybe a year or two, and I'm not sure if that's the reason why they're not coming up yet. But my marigolds, I'm telling you, I have never grown marigolds that turned out half as big and nice as these. They just keep on. So beautiful. And the okra is huge and has produced and is still producing. You can kind of see some of the okra. I think I have made a cutting about every other day on it, so that's fantabulous. And these marigolds that I waited so long for have struggled and struggled in this heat. They do better on cooler days, and then the heat hits them again. And my watermelon plant has tried to put out little baby watermelons, which I probably should have just nipped off and let them, let these 2 big ones grow. But I don't know, it's just exciting to see them, so I let them go. And that is the garden so far. Tomatoes have been producing really, really well. They're everywhere. I mean, I should have trimmed off the limbs that didn't have any tomatoes on them long ago, but I didn't know to do that until it was too late, so living and learning. And I've already trimmed off some of these zinnias. You can kind of tell where I trimmed them at, and they're supposed to, kind of like a hydra, they're supposed to like sprout 3 or 4 where you cut them at, so that'll be interesting to see. But the butterflies are loving them, and it makes me so happy to see them there. I have to show you what James and Mike and Ben were up to yesterday. James especially did a lot of work. Yes, we have some lights in the shop. So exciting. All right, what's for supper? We got jalapeno, black-eyed peas, fresh cornbread, some bacon, cabbage, and onion. Okay, so for the big reveal, now I have been working on this a little bit today, so it looks a little bit different than it did yesterday. But this is what it normally looks like, but with the addition of lights. This is what it looks like now. So James and Mike and Ben got half of the lights up in the shop. And probably the most important part of the shop, because this is where the workbenches are going to be at. And as you can tell, we've got a little bit more sorting to do. But today, I started taking out things in the shelves and trying to put them into stacks so that we can kind of sort and figure out how much shelving each possible area is going to need, like all the car washing stuff and the oil and all the gardening stuff. So, and that's the part I have not reached yet, so got a little bit of work to do. But there's the beautiful lights. We love them. Thank you, James. Thank you, David Moss, for providing it as a housewarming gift. We love it, love it, love it. Another Southern delight. I've got some Great Northern beans with cornbread and fried okra. And I usually put mustard on my beans. My peas have started to come up, little by little. So 95 1/4 inches studs to start with. And he's got 2 screws on each end and 2 in the middle. Mike is building a 30-inch tabletop, 8 foot wide, long, and 30 inches wide. Next is Mike is putting the brace in for the middle. Next step is the legs. They are 35 inches tall. Now he's measuring a 27-inch cross brace. Okay, so he's put 2 screws on the outside for the legs, 2 screws on the top, 2 screws on the side. The board will be 6 inches from the floor. Putting 4 screws in to hold the brace. Next, he measures to the middle of the brace board, getting ready to put the horizontal board in. This allowed him to know where to put the screws in the middle. Measuring to the inside of the board on each side, the brace will be 87 inches. Next comes the top. We're trying to use what was left over from the house build, so some of the lumber is not necessarily what we would have chosen at the store. Okay, so he's nailing down each side on the tabletop, and then he's going to cut it. Okay, the tabletop has been marked and is ready to cut. Down the rest of the tabletop. It's been a beautiful day today. Dad left the gate open at the bottom of the hill. I can't hardly wait to see what the cows do whenever they figure it out. They hadn't been down there yet. So they've got to go all the way down there. Well, he's trying to figure it out, isn't he? Okay, this is taking much longer than I thought it would. I did a little work beside the cemetery today. I'm wanting to clear out, there's the cemetery, but I'm wanting to clear out from about right there all the way down to where that cedar tree's sticking out on the right, because that's where the alcorns are buried, and I want to be able to see that from the porch. So that is my goal. I'm just waiting for the first one of them to realize
They're so very, very close. My goodness. Always the entertainer. Oh, I think they're gonna find it. Yeah! They have been wanting to go in there for a long time because the creek is right there and they have fresh grass in the water lot. So I don't blame them.